So there we are, and joining me now, Randy Evans. He's a member of the Republican National Committee Rules Committee, a former senior advisor for the Newt Gingrich presidential campaign in 2012, former Reagan White House political director Ed Rollins back with us as well. And Randy, first of all, good to see you. And
thank you.
At this point, this looks like a broadside from all directions against Donald Trump. It looks orchestrated as it can possibly be. The narratives are the same, whether they are coming from the Hillary camp or left-wing liberal media outlets, or whether it's from the Koch brothers or whomever you throw into the mix, the globalists, the left-wing journalists. If it ends in an is, it's against Donald Trump.
That's right. Well, that's what happens when you threaten institutional power, is institutional power coalesces in order to try to stop the change agent. Notice, Lou, how they completely ignored the fact that President Obama said that basically Hillary Clinton would be a continuation of his term, whereas Bill Clinton said she would be a change maker. Well, which is it? Is she a change maker or is she a continuation? But nobody talks about that division.
She's available for discussion of options, I believe, is the point.
That's right. And what we learned from last night is they can deliver cash, $400 million overnight. I kept waiting for somebody to see Mel Gibson or Danny Glover come out with diplomatic immunity. You know, when you see that kind of cash in an unmarked cargo plane flying overnight.
Yeah, there are all sorts of people looking for unmarked cargo planes at their local airports today. I mean, that's an incredible story.
Well, first of all, the arms deal was with the Shah.
Yeah.
And why we're paying
off. It had been tied up in The Hague in international court for decades, but suddenly it had to be resolved.
Right. And it's just the idea of they literally, it's $400 million, and I have great sympathy for anybody that's held a hostage, but they paid $100 million per hostage. You think about that.
Well,
well, what the implication,
well, if you're the hostage, $100 million seems reasonable.
Well, taxpayers' dollars, what difference does it make? It's just.
But the point of all that is, to Ed's point, Randy, and then I'll come right straight to you. The point that Ed is making there is that this country's policy has never been to pay ransom, because what it does is put a price automatically on every American's head whenever vulnerable, whenever within the reach of terrorists and kidnappers. And I'm sorry, Randy, go ahead.
No, that's absolutely true, except unless you're in Benghazi, in which case we don't even have the time or effort to send somebody to try. I mean, to me, the two worst facts that the Democrats will forever have to face is that Hillary Clinton could look into the face of a mother and lie to her about the cause of death of her son. And the second one was that we didn't even try. I cannot imagine an America where, forget whether or not we could or could not have gotten there in time, but to not even make the effort, then simultaneously you're willing to send $400 million because you want your deals to go through?
Bad deal.
That's the problem.
A bad deal, too.
A bad deal.
As Trump says, the worst deal in American history. And to that end, Donald Trump has Hillary Clinton on the run. She is not able to keep up with his physical pace on the campaign trail, apparently, because she is doing one organizing event today. He's doing two campaign events and a rally and a speech. He has, it seems, begun to take advantage of his physical stamina, his positions, and her failures as a candidate would here. What does he have to do next to make that result in a move in the polls? First, Ed?
Well, I think the key thing here is to get on message. Here are the 4 or 5 things I want to be running against her. She can't duck and deny them. They're truthful statements, and just stay right on her. What I was doing a campaign is I have a plan for the week, and every single day I measure against that plan, and that plan is all about against her, not about anything about me.
And Randy, this narrative that was spun up from, was it spun up from the left, or was it spun up from some of the still disgruntled Republican establishment, that there may be some discomfort with the nominee, as if somebody was going to do something about it? I mean, that was picked up, I will tell you, by several networks that I was listening to today. I mean, it was incredible, even by left-wing liberal standards, the degree to which they took that bait and then just ripped the line right off the reel, heading out toward wherever they could take it. Give us your sense of what happened.
My sense is that they're so desperate to avoid Donald Trump making real change in America, that they will grasp at any straw, any theme, any possible scenario. They'll do whatever it takes because they realize that if he's the president, the gig is up. Now, I agree with Ed. For Donald Trump, it's one word: focus. He's got to focus, focus, focus. Because as long as this election is about Hillary Clinton's record and Barack Obama's record, it's not going to be close. The only way in which they can win is to demonize Donald Trump, and he's got to stop giving them ammo to do that. Right. He's got to stop being a businessman and be a politician for just 90 days. And it's really hard to do because businessmen want to focus on fix every problem, and so he hears everything and wants to respond to everything. Ed's right. You got to let it be water off a duck's back, pick the 4 or 5 things, and that's all you go with for 90 days.
There's a wonderful word that I learned a long time ago. It's called sow. When someone attacks you, you go sow and move on. You just basically don't spend 5 seconds thinking about what they're attacking.
And I'm thinking about the difference between a politician and a businessman. You know, they used to say in this...
Politicians don't make money.
Don't tell that to the Clintons. The reality is that people used to say, you know, if somebody's running for office. I think right now we're watching when it comes to certain politicians. I mean, they're slithering for our office, not running for office. And that seems to be the hallmark of the time in which we live, and that's unfortunate. It would be nice to see that changed very quickly by the...
Well, the hardest part is businessmen focus on results. They want to deliver jobs, they want to deliver payroll, they want to deliver product. And the method isn't really important, whereas politicians want to focus on process. They want to kiss babies and walk in parades and make everybody feel good, but the results don't matter. And that's why it's such a hard crossover. And I know it's a hard crossover for Donald Trump because he expects to perform at the highest level and deliver the best results. And at the end of the day, it's going to be whether or not America's about a meritocracy for results, or whether or not we just want process that keeps the same old plans, the same old records in action.
Politics is also about power, and this is the ultimate battle for power, not just here, but in the world.
And let's be clear.
You are so right.
Whether it is Charles and David Koch, whether it is Hillary Clinton, whether it is Paul Ryan, whomever, they are working on the same side of a divide. Right. And that is a divide between globalists and Americans. And everybody better understand that as we move forward from this point. Ed Rollins, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Randy Evans, thank you, sir.
Thank you.